I'm here to address the new Facebook craze. Like, if you're white, you feel like you won one because there were some cops that were black. This is not to attack anyone. Let me first say that. In the past, or historically, blacks blame cops, not black cops. So if you're 30 or younger, white or black, I just want you to look some things up and understand what you're, applauding about. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous that people are so happy. And I'll probably lose more white friends on Facebook. I mean, at this point, you're just exposing who you really are. I've even lost some black friends who just, oh, you shouldn't think like that. So just friends, period. I won't even label it. I won't even join, everyone else in these labels, because that's part of why I'm complaining about this now, because it's just been about cops. If you're 30 or younger, I'm not attacking you. I'm just trying to educate you on some things. Believe me, it's been about cops. And if you're white, don't even mention anything about racism not existing, because if you're not black, you haven't had a problem with racism. If you don't see it, it doesn't mean it's not happening. You can't walk in another person's shoes and really understand and think because of examples that you see on social media that you now are a historian, a philosopher. Like, you got to stop. I mean, it's really ridiculous, So even if you look at old movies, okay, no one can deny that Boys in the Hood is a classic, and it was a sign of the times. It was really it really depicted life on the West Coast, especially, but just black life, period. And do you remember one of the most emotional parts of the movie when Cuba Gooding Jr. was very upset when he got home and he was swinging in the room at his girlfriend's house? What just happened? If you're 30 and younger and you haven't seen the classic, please Google that part, or just watch the movie. His issue was with a black cop, because that's what was happening at the time. We have issues with cops, not just black or white. So the celebratory attitude on Facebook that there was some black cops involved and there's still a man dead is pretty sick. Okay, you don't have a point. And this is to anybody. I'm not even attacking just young white kids. Everyone needs to learn. Back in the days, even in the 70s and 80s, old movies like Good Times and Sanford and Son mentioned just cops. There was issues with cops. Do yourself a favor and Google I won't even say my age. You know how old I am, but KRS One. Look up the song Black Cop. Look when that song was made. Do these things. Do your research, please, and then try to have a point. You actually will have no point. All the things you're doing on Facebook now, you will have no point whatsoever if you just look at Boys in the Hood and listen to the song Black Cop, see when they were published, okay? It has to. We just have to remember that lives are being affected at this point. So it's just disgusting. I can't believe how joyful people are being because there were black cops involved. This is pretty sick, and if you that shows how disconnected you really are to us, because just because you see an urban environment full of black people they're in rage doesn't mean it's a black white issue. You're just in a black neighborhood. Um, you know so I don't know, I could really go on and get deeper and longer with it, but just please do me that favor, so you educate yourself, because the older people, you kind of look crazy. You look like you're not doing your research. You just, this whole Facebook or social media craze is really turning people into, bigger idiots, because they think they know everything now. But please don't rely on a few Googles or posts. Go deeper than that. Don't just look at the top. When you Google something, you hit the top link. Really go deeper than that. Look at educate yourself. Talk to people that are older than you, okay? Because you really think you know what's going on, and you don't. Because even young, and I'm talking to young blacks too, you don't. It's not a black white issue all the time. There is still racism though, okay? But this isn't a black white issue, because guess what? In certain urban environments like Boston, where I'm from, and there are mixed towns, mixed cities, and so forth, you know, and we're all on an equal financial scale, if you will, we're all niggas to them. Irish and Jews and blacks will fight right next to each other because it's a cop issue sometimes. So maybe in certain instances, it maybe is a black person, white cop, but sometimes it's just your financial, um, level, if you will. That's the issue. We're all broke. We're all in urban environments. We're all in ghettos. Ghetto's a European word. Okay, so it isn't created for just black people. So, please, man, do your research. Stop celebrating. Someone's still dead and people are still getting hurt as we speak. This is no time to celebrate because of any aspect of this. There's no celebratory time. When it stops, we should celebrate that it finally stopped and people are understanding each other. So, moral of the story, do your research.